name's Jacqueline, and I'm a certified Pilates instructor, and I'm really excited because today we're going to start to bring you a new workout called Pilates. It's going to be mostly beginner stuff, so you're going to start from the bottom and learn how to do the exercises, learn why they're important, learn what you should be feeling and what you shouldn't be feeling. Some of the stuff can be intermediate as well, so if you feel like it's not challenging enough, you can always amp up the game and start to take things a little bit harder for yourself, make it more challenging. We're going to start with a mat series that's on the floor and it targets your glutes, and I'm going to take you through it. Mostly for Pilates, you should be doing about 10 reps of everything, and I want you guys to do that and 3 times around. So for everything you do, you're going to do 30 reps. Okay?
Are you a black belt?
I'm a black belt in Pilates, and I'm a master trainer, and I'm awesome, and that's it. Okay. Okay guys, so what I want you to do is find a comfortable spot, lay down on your back, hands by your side. You're going to start with a pelvic tilt warm-up. So basically that's just teaching you what you should be feeling and how your hips need to be positioned in each of the exercises. So all I want you to do, first of all, is take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to bring your pelvis, so your 2 pubic bones, towards your belly button. You're going to push your low back down onto your mat. So you should be able to feel it. So if you put your hand underneath your lower back, as you come down, you're going to press against that hand. So you should feel it quite snugly underneath you. Get rid of that hand, try to do it without it. So up into an anterior tilt, and then down posterior. You should do about 10 reps of these, and you should feel your abs squeezing as you do it. So every time you push down on the mat, and you're coming to that posterior tilt, you're squeezing your lower abs. That's going to focus on your core, and that's really important in Pilates. So let's do 10 of these, up and down. If you want to focus on your breath here, you should inhale on the way up and exhale as you press down, just to get all the air out and really focus on that core. Okay? A few of those, 10 times. You don't really need to do this 3 times. 30 reps of these is too much. 10 times through and you're done. You're ready to go on to the next exercise. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do when you're doing this exercise, which is called a glute bridge, is come into that posterior tilt from your warm-up, and you're going to lift your butt off the ground. Now, the most important thing to remember here when you're doing this is that you don't start hyperextending through your back. I want you to keep that posterior tilt from the warm-up, so the difference would be here to here. You should feel in your glutes more so than your hamstrings. That's really important. That's the whole point of this mat series, is to fire off those glutes and get them working. Sometimes we can't always isolate those in different exercises. So drive through your heels, not your toes. If you have to lift your toes off the mat, that's totally fine. Sometimes I have to do that even. Push that pelvis forward, and all you're going to do is drop that butt down, drive through your heels, lift up, squeeze your glutes at the top. So once again, just like I said, 10 reps of this. And really try, when you're bringing your butt down, not to lose that posterior tilt. So you want to stay super, super, super posterior, up and down. Just 10, 9, 8, 7, you can go as fast or as slow as you want. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can relax when you're done and bring your knees into your chest. Sometimes it'll feel a little bit tight. You'll get the burning in your bum. That's a good thing, trust me. Bring those knees back down, bring those feet back down onto the floor, hands beside you. I should have mentioned before that your upper body should be super relaxed while you're doing this, so don't start tensing up as you're lifting, and don't make sure that your neck muscles are super, super relaxed. So tomorrow morning, if you wake up and you feel like it's tight through here, you know that while you're doing these exercises, you need to really relax that neck. Okay, next thing we're going to add in is a single leg glute bridge. So again, inhale and exhale, bring those hips towards you, lift your butt up, come to that posterior tilt. You're going to lift one leg up. So this comes into the intermediate part. So if you found that the double leg one was pretty tough, this next one is going to be even tougher, and if you feel like you can't maintain that posterior tilt, then just stick to the double leg. Otherwise, try the single leg. So again, it's the exact same thing. You're just going to go up and down 10 times. Now the most important thing here is that you're pressing into that heel still, and you're keeping your knees on the same level. So you shouldn't be lifting that leg up or down. Up and down, pretty easy, 10 reps, each side. When you're finished, I want you to go right back into that double leg glute bridge just to max out those repetitions. So again, up and down 10 times. Same posterior tilt, up and down. Then you can relax back down, bring your legs into your chest. If you want, you can roll side to side, massage out your low back. What I don't want to happen is your lower back to hurt. So if you find like your lower back is hurting after these workouts, then you're definitely not going to that posterior tilt, which is super important. Okay.
Can you explain quickly what posterior tilt is for people?
Okay, so posterior tilt, posterior means back and anterior means front. So when you're bringing your hips towards the front of your body, that's a posterior tilt. An anterior tilt would be if you're bringing your hips towards the back of your body. So your hips are really, really largely responsible for low back pain or not. And a lot of people who have an arched back all the time, they'll find that they have lots of low back pain. Pilates is supposed to correct that by showing you how to come to that posterior tilt, activate those core muscles, lift up, use your glutes. All right? So let's keep on adding in. I want you to lift up again, come into that glute bridge, pull your knees together here because you're going to do a half time. So it's going to be little pulses, up and down. Just little ones, same as the full range of motion, but just up and down, keeping that posterior tilt like we talked about. I keep saying that because it's super important. Okay, when you're done, 10 reps of these little ones, you're gonna lift up your leg again and do the single ones 10 times. Go through that, the same routine. 10 times each leg, get through it. Make sure that you're still breathing while you're doing this and you're relaxing that upper body. And then again, double leg glute bridges. So that's 3 exercises that you should go through 10 times each and keep building on them one at a time. When you're finished with that, pull your knees into your chest, roll side to side, and we're going to do some leg lifts. So if you want, you can also shake out your legs. Sometimes you can feel it in your butt and it gets a little bit tough. You're going to extend one leg out for this one. Now, for these leg lifts, I want you to make sure that you're in a neutral spine. So this gets a little bit complicated. Instead of being posterior, anterior, you're going to find a middle ground between the two. So the best way to do that is to put your fingertips underneath your lower back, and that's where you need to be. So instead of coming right off the mat or pushing your low back down onto the mat, you're sort of in the middle. I like to keep my hand right underneath my low back while I'm doing this, and I've done that for the last 10 years of Pilates because I find that sometimes even I forget where my lower back needs to be. And so in order to avoid pain, this is super important. So you're going to take a deep breath, keep that hand underneath the low back, and I want you to just lift your legs up and down. Well, just one leg actually. All the way up so that your knees come together at the top. And this seems like a really, really easy exercise, but after you've done about 30 reps on each side, it gets pretty tough. So to start, just do 10 up and down. When you're finished with that on both sides, I want you to rotate your foot laterally. So that means you're going to take your foot and twist it so that the inside of your foot faces the ceiling. And now you're going to focus more so on your inner thighs and your quadriceps at the same time. Up and down. 10 repetitions of each. Looks like this, pretty simple. Make sure that you're maintaining that neutral spine. Make sure that your hips aren't dancing all over the place. So, looking up, 10 reps each side. Up and down, lateral rotation. When you're finished with that, again, rotate that foot so that it faces the ceiling, the top of your foot faces the ceiling. You're going to go back into 10 repetitions, up and down. When you're done with that, sometimes you can get a little bit of lactic acid buildup in the legs, so just shake it out, get rid of it, and get ready for the next exercise. You're going to add in again. So again, taking that hand, putting it underneath your lower back, extending that leg out, up and down, but this time you're going to pull your knee into your chest. You'll find that when you're doing this, your low back will press against your hand. That's totally fine. As long as you keep that hand there to maintain neutral, you'll be totally good to go. So pull that knee into the chest. You're going to bring it all the way up like a circle. Tap your heel down to the ground. Bring it back in. Tap your heel back down to the ground. Sometimes people will want to point their foot when they're doing this so that their toe is super straight. You can do that, or you can just leave it. It's not a big deal. I want you to do 10 repetitions of these. Then when you're finished, you're going to go back into that lateral rotation, up and down, 10 reps, and then again twist that foot point that toe if you want or not, and just regular 10 up and down reps. You should go through that about 3 times on each side. That's really all you need to be doing, and you'll definitely feel the burn. The next thing you're going to do to make this even more difficult is add in the glute bridge. So it'll be similar to what you just did, except for you're going to take a deep inhale, relax your upper body, curl the pelvis forward into a posterior tilt, lift your butt up, look towards the ceiling, and now you're going to do those same leg lifts with the glute bridge. So bringing it all the way up, you'll feel the stretch through the hamstring. Make sure that you maintain this posterior tilt again. I know it's going to be tough. This is a little bit more intermediate. Keep that upper body soft. Up and down, tap your heel. Drive through your right heel when you're using your left leg. Up and down. 10 reps. Should look like this. Keeping those hips up. Go through 10 of those. And if you want, you can relax because sometimes that can be too much for the hamstrings and the glutes. Pull your knees into your chest, roll side to side. Again, if this hurts your lower back, you know that you need to come more posterior. That's super important because lumbar hyperextension, which means anterior tilt, is really bad for compression of your spine, and you don't want to have any disc issues. So again, inhale and exhale, posterior tilt, lift those hips up, extend the leg out. After you've done 10 of these, I want you to switch again, lateral rotation. Same as what we did on the ground with our butts down. Up and down, same thing. Drive through that heel. 10 reps. Once you're done 10 reps of that, you're gonna switch again, top of your foot faces the ceiling, up and down. Drive through that heel. 10 reps. When you're done that, relax the butt back down, pull your knees into your chest. And if you want, you can roll side to side. I'm already feeling this, it's really, really tough. So again, last thing to add in, inhale and exhale, coming back up, you're gonna go through circles. So it's really important that you keep your hips straight here, facing the ceiling. So if you feel like this one hip is sinking down, then just come back down onto the ground. It's not a big deal. You can go back to the beginning. Always go back to the beginning if you think it's too tough. So again, drive through that heel, hips facing the ceiling, and you're just gonna do like a teardrop shape. Just little circles. Always driving through that heel, never coming onto the toe. You don't want to do that because you don't want to have any knee issues. So, circles, counterclockwise, clockwise, you can switch it up. Make sure you get 10 of each. After you've done that, if it's too much, you can always just bring your knees into your chest again, or you can go right into the leg lifts again for more of an advanced workout, and then the lateral rotation. And then relax down, pull your knees into your chest. And then you can shake out your legs because the lactic acid can get a little bit tough sometimes. And that's pretty much it, guys, for the first workout. So I hope you liked it. Make sure that you go through everything at least 3 times through. If it's really too much and your body's not used to the movements, which is totally normal, you can go through it once just to see how you feel the next day, see if you're actually getting those glutes firing. You should be feeling this in your glutes the next day. I don't think I've ever gone through a Pilates workout where I haven't felt it the next day. Make sure if your low back is bugging you that you work on those pelvic tilts that we started in the beginning with the warm-up, and make sure that you're really understanding that you need to bring those 2 hip bones forward towards your belly button to maintain the proper posture so that you don't go into hyperextension through your back. Okay, so thanks for joining me, and I really hope that you like the workout, and hopefully you'll tune in for the next ones.